This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
McHan Show, brought to you by SellYourHomeStockton.com. I'm here with Odis DeHart from True Roof. Thank you for stopping by today.
Of course, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's get started. So how long have you been in the roofing industry?
So my dad owns a roofing company in Turlock, and I've been working with him since I was a kid. So
12 years old, he had you on the roof?
Younger even, just...
humping bundles of shingles up a ladder, huh?
Exactly. It's kind of, if you wanted to hang out with Dad on Saturday, you needed to go do a side job with him a Saturday morning at 5:30, get up with him and go work. He hustled and started his own business in 2014, or 2004 rather, when I was 14 years old. So professionally, since I legally 16 years old, I guess, was when
you got your work permit up.
Yeah, but
child labor laws.
Exactly. But working with Dad since I was real young, just lugging quarter bundle of shingles up on the roof at a mobile home park, trying to make it work with him on the weekends. But yeah, just helping do repairs, things like that, from a young age. And I'm 28 years old now, so most of my life I've been on a roof or around a roof or looking at a roof, from a car. The roof's been in my life for a long time.
I remember I used to be able to get up on a ladder on a roof, no problem. And I was doing some maintenance for a guy a few years back, and before I got into this side of real estate, I put that big 36-foot ladder up there and climbed up there. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even do it, man. I just froze. I looked down, I'm like, roofs are done for me. Unless it's a single story, I'm not doing it no more.
The hardest part's getting back on the ladder when you're up there. Yeah. Trusting yourself to get off of a stable structure onto something that's going to move a little bit. And that's where a lot of guys have
relying
accidents.
On the guy down there, if he's there, paying attention to hold that ladder for you.
Yeah, usually he's looking around, bored,
Smoking a cigarette,
exactly.
Cigarette hanging out, that guy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, so most of my life I've been up and around.
So your dad has his own roofing company and you have your own?
Yeah. So I started my business April of last year, actually. So April 2017, I started my own business. Around my 27th birthday, I decided I was going to just kind of go out and see, what the world had to offer as far as trying to make it on my own. And so far, it's been a good experience.
Was he proud of you?
He's the kind of guy that's was always pushing me to do it. And super proud of me. Yeah. He told me, why don't you just go on your own? You're going to be good at it. Why are you wasting time? Why are you working with me when you could be doing that instead of being here? And it made sense. It became
more. He's like,
more.
Damn, no, I lost my best worker.
He's got a great team still. I'm a real big fan of the way they run things. And he's done a really good job of instilling a good work ethic in me. The things that you can't really teach someone how to do, how to work hard.
Well, that's where it starts at a young age.
Exactly.
I have my son up. Good morning, Gene. How you doing? I have a small apartment complex, and a guy was doing a TPO roof, and I paid him $45 an hour. That's what his rate was, and he was worth every penny. Yeah. But I couldn't do it all by myself, so I had my 10-year-old, 11-year-old son up on the roof with me, and he was just miserable. Yeah. He hated me. He's like, why do I got to be up here? I got to be up here. You got to be up here. Yeah. This is what pays your bills right now.
There's an acclimation process to the heat, and especially with TPO, a white roll roofing system, you get a lot of sunburns in places you didn't think.
Oh, underneath my arms.
Yeah,
my armpit.
Under your arm, under your chin.
Yeah.
You get a nice tan in places that, I don't tan, so I get burned,
Yeah. Sunglasses were a must, and a hat.
100%, yeah.
So what is TPO, since we're bringing it up?
So TPO is it's a thermoplastic polyolefin is what it stands for, but it's a type of single-ply roofing system. So used primarily in commercial roofing systems. A lot of large, big box stores have a TPO roofing system. What used to be in the 70s, 80s, and then early 90s started transitioning from hot mop and roll roofing and torch down roofing systems to single-ply roofing systems, whether it's one type is EPDM, which is like a black rubber. It's almost like an inner tube tire type of rubber. But in California, that black roofing material is not great because it attracts so much heat. Right. So the white TPO or PVC roofing system is great, reflects a lot of heat, lasts a long time, has good expansion and contraction through the thermal cycles we experience in the summer and the wintertime. So
and it's lightweight compared to
extremely lightweight. Yeah,
and that's why I chose it on my roof. One, it was lightweight. Two, is monolithic. I mean, so they welded the seams, so it made it one continuous, because it was in a valley.
Yeah.
100-foot valley.
Yeah.
And the guy said, we could roll roofing. He goes, but you'll probably be doing this because it gets a lot of water and a lot of heat, expansion, contraction. Because we could do it half the cost, or we do TPO and you won't have to do it for another 15 years.
Exactly. Yeah, TPO, it just stands up to a lot of different a lot of different elements. It doesn't hold on to a lot of dirt and debris. It reflects a lot of the heat. So therefore, a lighter color roofing system is going to last longer because it doesn't take the thermal stress that you put on it that other roofing systems would retain. Speaking
of roofing systems, what are your top 3 or 4 roofing systems in this area?
So in our area, our company, True Roof, primarily focuses on doing residential and commercial roof inspections. The main roofing systems you'll find on a residence are composition shingles, concrete tile, and wood shake. But wood shake's pretty much being phased out. It's no longer the go-to roofing system. It was in the 80s and 70s. But a fire hazard is one of the main reasons it's going out. Different homeowners insurance carriers, they won't insure your house if it has a wood shake roof on it.
It's funny. My mother-in-law, she lived over off of Oakleaf, and the homeowners association, it had to look like a shake roof. They had these that's the way it was, and that's the way it's got to be. So she had to spend an enormous amount of money to get this roofing system that resembled a wood shake type roof.
Yeah. Was it a metal panel?
Yeah, it was a metal panel.
Yeah. So there's different types, and that's a great opportunity to maintain the aesthetics, increase longevity. You don't have to pull the old roof off. There are different brands: the Gerard Shake, Decra, Tilcor, 3 different.
Those ones are lightweight.
Very lightweight. Yeah. Energy efficient, and it won't burn. So that's a great system to put on. However, it is a pricey investment up front. However, at the 30-year mark, where on a composition roof you normally would be replacing, with that type of roof, you don't have to. You can go 50 years easily without having to replace. Now, there's general maintenance things you have to do, like any normal roofing system, but you don't have to replace after 30 years. With a composition, you would have to.
So is there a big difference between a 25-year and a 30-year comp roof? I mean,
yeah. So when I was younger, when I started roofing with my dad, there was a 20-year, a 25-year, a 30-year, a 40-year, a 50-year shingle. Now the manufacturers have kind of all. It's more of a marketing. Yes, one manufacturer started saying our shingles are lifetime. And so what happens when one guy says
define lifetime?
Exactly. So the other manufacturers started saying, we're also lifetime. So what you get now is instead of having a 30 and a 40-year and a 50-year, you have everything's a lifetime roof, but there's more of a push to buy the system, which is that brand of underlayment, that brand of moisture barrier in your valleys and at your eaves, that brand starter shingle, that brand ridge cap, that brand ventilation system.
So you don't get the lifetime warranty unless
you buy the whole package.
Buy the whole package.
Right.
So they're kind of forcing you into the system and not just replacing some shingles.
Exactly. And in our climate zone here in California, there's a lot of heat. For example, we are doing a re-roof in Ripon right now, and the gentleman really wanted a 50-year roofing system. We'll say a specific brand. He wanted GAF Grand Sequoia shingles, and to save him some money up front and in the long run, I told him let's do a GAF Timberline reflector shingle. It's a little thinner product, but there were 2 reasons for that: initial cost savings up front. He wouldn't sacrifice aesthetics at all because the shingle's still a nice looking shingle. It has beautiful color scheme, but he'd save money in the long run too because it's a thinner shingle. It's not going to hold on to so much heat in the summertime. It would cool off quicker once the sun goes down. So I try to give my clients that sort of input, like, hey, what's your
long-term goal?
What's your goal here? Do you want to sell this house next year? No, I want to live here. Okay, if you want to live here, you're not trying to impress anybody. Look around your neighborhood. Your neighbors also have this type of roofing system. Now, if it's something you want because you want it to look a specific way, I get it, and I'll make sure I service you that way. But let's think about your energy costs next summer, the following summer, the summer after that.
So the reflective shingle has something in there to reflect the heat back up.
Yeah,
the sunlight.
Exactly. So with a quote unquote a cool roof shingle here in California, there's the CRRC with the Cool Roof Rating Council. The way that they measure energy efficiency in shingles is there's 3 different things they measure. They measure reflectivity, so it's basically the color of the shingle. The lighter the color, the more reflective it's going to be. Emissivity, which is the ability for a product to lose heat once the heat catalyst is taken away. So once the sun's taken away, how fast can that product get cold? And then thermal radiation. So how well can heat pass through a product? So based on those 3 ratings, you find out how energy efficient or inefficient your roof is. The worst roof to put on anybody's house here in the Central Valley, Stockton to Fresno, would be a black roof.
And you see those a lot.
Oh my gosh, they're so aesthetically pleasing. You can paint your house purple, green, pink.
Yeah, they are pretty nice.
Yeah, and my house has a black roof on it. I keep joking with my wife. I tell her I'm going to paint it white.
It's the last American painted white.
Exactly. But happy wife. So I can't do that. Yeah.
That's funny. I know. It's like, man, the black. It's funny because you could put a black T-shirt on, and feel the heat.
Exactly.
It's intense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see how a light roof versus a dark roof would
make a big
difference.
And they last longer. The light roofs. You go to a mobile home park or just any residence, and a homeowner will say, "Well, my neighbors, they replaced their roof, and I'm thinking I might need to replace mine." Well, let's say Susie, she says, I want to replace my roof because it's 25 years old and it's a white, it could be just a 20-year roof, but it's a white color roof. And I go up and say, hey, you've got 3 to 5 years left in this roof. There are some maintenance items you got to do just to make sure you don't spring a leak in these problem areas. You have debris in the valley, or you have flashings that need to be sealed up because the sealant does degrade in the sun. But a white roofing system generally gives you about 10% more life than the manufacturer even suggests that it will, in my findings.
Wow.
And that's in a climate zone we live in where the sun is really intense. Today's forecast is 105 degrees. So that's before the Delta breeze comes through, but it's warm. And so a white roof on a day like today is going to be 125 degrees. A black roof is going to be at about 190 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And that goes in your attic space. And, it's...
So speaking of energy efficiency, what do you know about foam roofing systems?
Foam roofing systems like spray foam. Yeah, so spray polyurethane foam is it can be a very efficient way to do 2 things in one. Basically recondition your existing roofing system, provide long-term waterproofing, also adding or boosting your insulation all at one time. The one caveat is that's a very that's a very niche market. We don't provide spray foam coatings, but we do provide coating systems other than spray foam. And the reason we don't do that is you've got to be a specialist. And my kind of philosophy is let the guys that are really good at certain things continue to do those things.
Right. I've looked into it. It's a very it's just that gun alone.
It's expensive.
A couple grand for that gun alone, and then
just for the
having
gun.
to know how to clean it and make it work properly, spraying the right amount of foam.
Right.
I learned that if you spray too much foam, it could actually catch fire.
Yes. Yeah. There's a flash point that you have to be totally aware of.
It's a thermogenic reaction, and it creates heat. And I was reading a story where a guy caught a house on fire.
Yeah. See, and that's why in California it's really important we all have the right type of liability insurance. When you're comparing quotes from one company to another, and that's a big question I have from different clients. We got 5 bids. We got a bid for $9,300, and our high bid was $17,000. Now, how do we explain the spread? And it's crazy because it's not like you're going to a car dealership and you want a 2017 Honda Accord. you're basically calling roofers and saying, hey, I want a brand new roof. And they're going to come in and give you their idea of what that means to them.
Right.
And if one guy doesn't have the right insurance to cover burning a house down, that person can be really affordable. They're really, well, cheap, rather, is the right word, because they're not protecting you, the customer, should something go awry. But
somebody falling off a roof,
material falling off the roof, hitting a vehicle, material going into the pool and totally destroying the pump system for the pool. Different things like that happen that your insurance can totally unforeseen. Yeah.
Wow. With the pool thing, I'm sure it's happened. That's why you're bringing it up. That's something totally unforeseen.
Yeah. The good experience comes from making your own mistakes, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Unfortunately, we've got a lot of experience with different things.
Well, I mean, growing up in the roofing business, I'm sure you've seen it all.
We've seen a lot. I wish we've seen it all, because it'd be nice to not see anything. I don't want to be more surprised now than I am, or than I have been before. But there's there's a constant stream of surprises coming our way.
So you think the difference between the $9,000 bid and the $17,000 bid is the cost of insurance, or you think?
In insurance, among other things. Some guys just demand a higher amount of money. And there's different business models too. There's the guy in his truck who he'll be there today at 4 o'clock to look at your roof after he gets done roofing today. He'll go to your house and take a look at it. And that guy, you get high quality workmanship out of the guy in his truck that owns the business and does the books and does the estimates himself. He's only $10,000. And then you have another firm that they're based in Southern California. They have 50 sales guys, and they have a big machine to keep running and keep fed.
So they charge more.
They charge more, and they have the right insurance policies because they have a lot larger revenue. Their gross product is 10 million instead of $1 million. So they have to pay a lot more insurance. They have more employees, more overhead as far as payroll tax. It's just it's not apples to oranges, but there's a few different types of oranges we're comparing, Okay. But it's crazy, the spectrum, especially in California, a real big business state. There's a lot of differences between one business and the next.
So how many bids would you suggest somebody get if they're thinking about getting a roof?
I would say if you know somebody in the industry, if you have a real strong referral, get that bid, and get 2 more within the same county. Get guys from different counties. You want to work with somebody in your county, I believe, or within your network that you can trust. Having a referral-based bid is the best way to go, because they're not a fly-by-night. They're here for the long term, and that they're here to satisfy not only you, but they're being held accountable by the person that referred you to them.
Good point.
That's super important, because now if they upset you, they're upsetting you and that person. And if that person told you about them, they're most likely telling other people also.
Yeah, and then you have little leverage. That's why I like referrals.
Yeah.
In my business as a realtor, because it gives me that social proof for that person. They know that what they're to expect from the quality of service from me.
Right.
And if I don't hold up to that, then I have the other person to answer to as well.
Yeah.
And if that person sent me a couple referrals, I don't want to upset that person. So, I bend over backwards, sometimes, and it's tough sometimes because you're like, you can't please everybody, but you try.
Exactly. And there are some people, we make most people thrilled to work with us, but there are sometimes our personality conflicts. Some guys, I'm a younger guy, so I've been discriminated by my age. I've been told you don't look old enough to know what you're doing.
That's why you have a beard on.
Yeah, that's why I've had to grow the facial hair out, so that I can create some sort of validity to what I'm saying. But after a conversation with somebody and they realize I wasn't riding Dad's coattails. I'm not here because this is just kind of what I was led to do. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the industry. We go to a roofing conference in Vegas every year to not only have fun, because it's the one fun thing you can do as a roofer aside from trying to go to jail.
You get to learn about all the new technology.
Exactly.
I went to getting off a little topic here. It was a grape growers symposium. It's a small one out in Linden.
Yeah.
And the technology was just amazing. I had no idea that they were using GPS trackers and infrared to, when they drive down the row, it's reading the different nutrients, and then it gives specific nutrients to the RFID tag to that plant because it could tell it's lacking magnesium or sulfur.
Yeah, my neighbor went to school. He got a degree in GIS, geographic imaging, or geographic information systems rather, and he was working an internship with a large grape grower, and that was his job, to go and do these like microspectrometers in the grapes and find out, you know, what type, just like you're saying, the mineral balance. And now they're doing farming from aerial imagery based on plots, and like not all grapes in that field are the same. But depending on what the soil content is in very small areas, they're changing the amount of water input, the amount of, you know, time they should be in the sun. It's ridiculous.
So I would imagine the roofing industry has come a long way in the past 10 years with technological advances, especially in reflectivity and even the spray foam technology has grown by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of advances. One of the biggest pushes that I'm glad that we're having is technology is making it easier to manage and be in good communication with your clients. You know, we have the ability now. We all have a calendar in our pocket that we can refresh. We can add things to them. We can have multiple people seeing the same calendar at one time. We have a team at True Roof where if I can't get to a client or can't get a hold of them right away, I have someone else that can get to them and that knows exactly what's going on. So we all have the same pipeline. We don't have to get together every day at 5:30 a.m. before we go and, you know, chase the sun.
Right.
We have the ability to do it without.
So the safety meeting is the, you know, what are we doing today meeting.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So what have you seen in the conferences that you think is on the horizon for the roofing industry? Anything?
Yeah. One of the big things I think is going to be, you know, that's going to be large as far as keeping people more safe in the realm of consulting and inspection is the idea of using drones more often. I have a drone that I use when we are, you know, looking at roofs that are, in, you know, either the homeowner says, hey, I don't want you on my roof, it's very fragile, or roof's too steep, or it's 3 stories and it's unsafe to get up on the roof. So we use a drone to inspect that. For, you know, 4K video or, you know, 30 megapixel photos. It's ridiculous, and it's better than your eyes. Some of these photos are better than you can see in person. So it's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, I would imagine because some of the roof lines could be such where you can't necessarily get there, so you're taking a guess at what's there, or if it's burned. You know, you don't want to be up on a burnt roof.
Exactly. You don't want to find out once you're up there that it's not structurally sound.
Straight down.
Exactly.
I fell through a roof one time. Wasn't a fun experience.
Gosh, I haven't done that yet. Well, when I've fallen through, you know, 1 foot or stepped through
that's what
penetration.
It was 1 through all the way up to my growing area. I was like, I thought I was done for.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So, as far as roof maintenance. You brought up roof inspections. Mm-hmm. What is a roof inspection?
So a roof inspection for us, what we try to do is facilitate a good, you know, real estate transaction, or just homeowners are trying to find out more peace of mind. What's going on with my roof? I've seen activity in the neighborhood, or I have a house, a concrete tile roof. House is built in the 80s. They told me it's a 50-year roof. Now, why are my neighbors having roofers on their house fixing things? Should I be concerned? We live in an agricultural area. So for some people, a roof inspection entails coming out, taking a look at the valleys. And, you know, a valley on your roof is where 2 roof facets come together and they create a channel. And in our area, they've become plumb full of debris from the farmers, which we don't hate the farmers. We appreciate the farmers bringing food and bringing...
So you're talking about the peat dirt and stuff that's...
Exactly. So our roofs age quite a bit faster than they do on the coastal region, because we have a lot more dirt in the air from the farmers. So it's not a big problem. You just have to get your roof looked at every 5 years or so to make sure you don't have too much dirt in your valleys. Because what can happen is that dirt gets plumb full and it creates a layer of silt. And once it rains, the water doesn't run down the valley channel like it should. The water runs on the valley channel, hits the dirt, and goes around it and then underneath. And that's when it compromises your underlayment and it causes leaks on a concrete tile roof. We also look for exposed fasteners. We look at your plumbing vents and make sure they're still sealed, where the conical flashing meets the ABS or
Can you say that in English, please?
Where we make sure that the plumbing vent flashings or all penetrations in your roof are sealed, where the flashing from the roof meets the pipe.
So the tube.
Yes.
seal around the tube coming up there.
Exactly. And there's a couple ways you could do that. Flash band tape, rubber collars, or polyurethane sealant. But it's just, those don't lead to leaks as often as, poor installation or dirty valleys. And sometimes, you've got a concrete tile roof and you got a broken tile up there. You don't know how or why, but
expansion and contraction.
Hairline fractures from the install. Yeah, the guys didn't notice when they installed it, and then over time it settles and falls out of place. Or you get a lot of birds. Tracy's a bad area for birds. Patterson for birds. A lot of pigeons causing a lot of pile up of debris, and it's real bad. And it can cause some major issues with the roofing system. Not only that, it can be pretty dirty. As far as it can leak into your house, and then you have bird feces. Matter. Yes.
Or running in your house. That probably might be good.
It's always nice.
So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to get a roof inspection, how would they go about doing that?
There's a couple different ways. Our main office is our phone number is 209-718-ROOF, ROOF.
Nice. Easy to remember.
We have 4 area codes with that last 4, the suffix being that. And because we plan to expand, of course, I don't want to be over ambitious and go too fast too soon. We want to build a good quality service here in the Central Valley first before we expand.
Okay.
Our website, trueroofca.com. There's an inspection page. You click on there. There's a communication form. And once you fill that out and send it in, our office receives it and we'll schedule you and email you a confirmation.
So how much is a roof inspection?
So we provide free roof inspections from.
Did you say free? Wow.
From Merced through Stockton and Lodi, actually. So Merced, Stanislaus, and San Joaquin counties, we do provide a free roof inspection. We service San Joaquin County every Monday and Wednesday. Stanislaus and Merced County we service every day.
Okay.
And if you want a premium inspection, which is it comes with photos and it comes with just more detailed photos. That's $125 for that. And we don't provide photos with our free inspections only because our competitors generally get a hold of our photos. And, of course, if they didn't go out and do the inspection themselves, they can say, we'll take $50 off the repair price, no problem. But we try to be very fair with our pricing and very, very, very fair and very honest with our findings.
I would have to attest to that. I've used Odis a few times, and it's been very competitive compared to, because my clients is like, I want to shop it around, I want to have somebody else, and your price was better. I have you on my TPO roof right now. Where around the chimney they didn't seal around the chimney.
That's right. No counter flashing.
How do you do that?
And around a gas line, they're just missing either a pitch pocket or a flashing around the gas line. And you wouldn't know until it rains.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but it kind of looks like maybe they just didn't have the material then intended on coming back. Maybe just didn't make it.
The owner didn't even know it.
Yeah.
The owner had no idea. So he had this roof on all this time and had no idea that the job wasn't done right.
Yeah. But other than that, it's a pretty good condition roof. Workmanship looked good. It's just there's a couple odds and ends. And that can go back to the management side of things. I'm sure the guys that did the work knew about it, told the boss. Boss probably wasn't utilizing the right type of technology to get that information back to the field so that it can get followed up with correctly. Back. Yeah, it's a team sport. Any business is a team sport.
True. Everybody
that we have is as important as I am to the team. Because if the low man on the totem pole falls apart, the whole thing comes tumbling down. And there's nobody that's gonna hold the whole thing up by themselves. It's a cohesive environment. We have to all work together.
Well, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good analogy. Do you offer veteran discounts or anything like that?
Yeah, so we don't have a system in place for a very, very specific type of discount. But the way I approach every situation, we have senior citizens and veterans that let us know, hey, this is my situation. I'm a veteran. I served in for our country for this amount of years, and I've done this. And what we usually try to do is make it right by them by it's not a certain percentage because we do try to do tight numbers, but we'll knock a couple $100 off as a thank you, or we'll do some extras for that person. And depending on the scope of the project, on a re-roof, we'll provide better ventilation for them, or take some money off the top, or repair dry rot for them at no charge. But
some way to give back.
some way to reciprocate. I mean, how can you ever reciprocate somebody who literally put their life on the line so I could sit here on a podcast and talk, you know? But
I feel the same way.
Yeah,
like it's pretty being connected with veterans organizations. So I always have to ask, look out for my vets, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So I'd like to say thank you for coming out.
Of course, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And if you guys have any real estate questions, give me a call, 209-986-9292. Have a great day. Oh, and remember, yes, you can with Lance McHan.
Sweet.